first Tiger game was in 3rd grade. It was an opening day against the Twins. My favorite player was Alan Trammell. He was my favorite player because he was my brother's favorite player and he was my dad's favorite player. In that game, I think we won by a couple. I don't know the specifics, but I remember we won. It was opening day, so it was a very good time, and the crowd was very, very hyped.
I remember my first Tigers game at the old Tiger Stadium was when I was in 5th grade. It was me, my dad, and my sister. I think it was a few of my cousins also. It was the Tigers versus the Yankees, and it was kind of gloomy outside. It was going to pour a little bit, but it didn't really affect anything. And I remember going in a little early with my dad and my sister, and it was so crazy because we got to see the players practice before they actually started, and we got pretty good seats so we could see everything that was going on, and there was a lot of music, and the TVs in the stadium were really clear and good. I remember going to get food also, and in the outside of the stadium was all the hot dogs and ice cream and cotton candy and all the vendors selling their stuff. So it was also really fun to see that and to see the different things that they sold. I got a jersey and some t-shirts, and we got hats for my brothers. And it was a really nice stadium. It was really big, and I'll always remember my first baseball game there. When I was little, I went to the Tigers game and I had a Bobby Higginson jersey. He was my favorite player because we both played right field. I played right field and softball, so I always cheered for him. The old Tiger Stadium affected me because we used to go as a family to the Tigers game, so it kind of brought us together. I also played softball when I was little, so I would go to the Tigers game and I would try to just remember what the baseball players were doing so I could try them when I played. And it also made me see how many people came out and supported their home team. So it kind of affected me to see how the community reacted to all these sporting events.
The stadium affected me in a good way because it was a good time for my family and I to bond, my brothers and my dad. So after that game, we went to a lot of games and just a good time. So.
I would definitely have to say like the old Tiger Stadium better because that's where I went when I was a child and that's where I have most of my memories. I don't really go to that many baseball games anymore. Another reason I liked the old Tiger Stadium was because I felt like it was always full, whereas now the Tigers games I go to are sometimes they're not that full and a lot of seats are empty.
I like the new Tiger Stadium more. There's a lot more going on. There's more to do. It's a better atmosphere. Overall, it's just nicer and better facility.
The old Tiger Stadium affected Detroit in a lot of different ways. It employed a lot of people. I remember going and there was vendors and there was people who directed you to your seats, and there was a lot of people who worked there. Another way the old Tiger Stadium affected Detroit was because I feel like it made so much money every game. The games are always so full and there were so many people. So there was people who were buying beer and food and a whole bunch of stuff, and all their stuff was pretty expensive. So I'm sure they made a lot of money. As a community, I think the Tiger Stadium affected Detroit because it brought so many people together rooting for the same team, and I thought that kind of supported our community.
The old Tiger Stadium affected Detroit in a positive way because it generated more jobs for the city. It affected the businesses around it positively because there was more traffic and everyone benefited off of it. When Tigers were good, everyone was in good spirits and the businesses were busy. So.